When it comes to arcade racing games, few are as controversial as this one. Need for Speed Most Wanted, a Criterion game, or Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, whichever one that you want to go by. What's going on, everybody? It's Madness. Today, I want to talk about why I believe this game needs a remaster. Just for disclaimers, I haven't played this game in over a year, but we are behind the wheel of one of my favorite cars of all time, the Porsche 911 GT2. So, let's get right into this. I remember when this game was coming out, a lot of people were already having high negative criticisms about the game, and honestly, some of the complaints were understandable. Some people didn't like the handling, some people didn't like the lack of story or customization, like having body kits on, putting new wheels, or tuning of that sort of nature. But I believe all of this can be summed up into one simple issue. It wasn't a real Most Wanted game. Some people went as far as saying it's not a real Need for Speed game. Now, those people are comparing this game to the classic Most Wanted that came out in 2005. Many of us grew up on the 360 and PS2 versions. Now, I know they released a couple of versions for the DS, the PSP at the time, the PC, and so on and so forth. But the main one was developed by EA Black Box. And honestly, I don't think it was right for the game to deserve that much hate for simply being called Most Wanted. However, I do understand some of their criticisms. I just don't think the amount of backlash that this game got was justified. And honestly, Criterion Games didn't lie about what the game was, to be honest with you. The whole goal of the game was the same as the 2005 version, except this one didn't really have a story to tag along with. You still had to climb the Most Wanted list and take down every racer that was on it, right? From start to finish. And here's the thing, despite all of the criticisms and backlash that the game got, I truly believe this is one of the best Need for Speed games in the series. And here are 5 reasons why I believe this is. Number 1, this had an amazing car list, right? The car list was as varied as any other Need for Speed game had been in the past, right? The only one that comes close, I believe, was Undercover. And that had the best car list, I think, of any game, like, period. Right? And everything from a Ford Fiesta ST to a Lamborghini Aventador to like the Nissan 350Z. You had your Ford GTs, you had the Ford Mustang Boss 302 with the Laguna Seca colors, you had the Lexus LFA, obviously my favorite, the 911 GT2. I feel like this game had a car for everyone, to be honest with you. And the car sounds, which we're going to get to in a minute, was out of this world. Second is the handling. While obviously people have issues with the brake to drift physics, and you just have to type the brake to drift, I honestly feel like that's not a bad thing, to be honest with you. While the handling wasn't perfect, it's still allowed for incredible moments, incredible drifts, like sliding through alleyways, sliding in between traffic, doing the drift events, and the jumps. It was just a different way of having fun, and I don't think people really understood that back then, because people were so focused on the black box era of games. Like, people really wanted something like that. But I think that this game offers fun in a completely different way, which is fine, to be honest with you. The next one is the sound design, and I was talking about the sound design when it came to like the car list and stuff. This game, like, has the best car sounds I have ever heard in any game, period. Right? The only two games that come close are Gran Turismo, like the most recent Gran Turismo, the one that came out 2022, and Drive Club. Other than that, I can't think of a single game that comes close to the level of sound fidelity that this game has. Still, 10 years later, no game I don't think has come close besides those two. Besides Gran Turismo 7 and Drive Club. Like, those sound so good. I still remember them to this day. Right? It was just something about, it was just so raw, aggressive. Like, it felt like, it sounded like you actually was driving the car. And honestly, whoever did the sounds for this game deserves an award, bro. Like, it deserves sound design of the year, like of the decade, because like I said, like barely any games come close, and I don't think people talk about this sort of aspect enough, right? The next one, the next one's a subjective opinion, I should say, but having no story. I don't think I've truly enjoyed a Need for Speed story in a while. Yes, some of them were okay at best, I'm not saying they're bad, but it's just not something that I guess I look forward to nowadays. Ever since I started playing Hot Pursuit 2010 and the remastered version of that game, the story has just taken a backseat for me. In fact, I think because it has no story, I think Hot Pursuit 2010 is probably one of my favorite games because, it goes back to the roots of Need for Speed, the actual roots of Need for Speed, and not, where people think it started with underground and stuff. You don't have to spend money on voice actors, and, you don't have to spend useless time, writing scripts and acting out scenes. You can spend more time detailing the cars, getting the car sounds right, getting the physics right, getting the, environment right. You can spend a lot more time doing all this stuff instead of just like wasting money on useless, not useless, because Ghost One 2005, Undercover, The Run, I've enjoyed those. I've enjoyed this, I'm not gonna lie, but I think with the new recent ones where their stories have just been lackluster at best, like Unbound especially, I think it's best that Need for Speed continues without having a story, but that's just my thoughts. So again, that's one of the reasons I love Forza Horizon, because whatever little story is there, it doesn't really get in the way of you enjoying the game with your favorite car. You could just run around, do races and stuff, drift, do Forzathon challenges and stuff, without having the need to, this person called and you need to, do this race so you can progress through this meaningless story, But that's just me personally. I know other people have different opinions about it, so, And lastly is the multiplayer. Now, obviously, I didn't enjoy the multiplayer, but from what I've heard on YouTube and Reddit and all these other forums, multiplayer was probably it's the second highlight of this game. Now, obviously, I wasn't able to play the multiplayer because I got the game so late. I didn't have a PS3 or 360 or capable PC when this game came out. So, having a remaster of this game would do it justice, because, you have people like me who wasn't able to afford games like that back in the day when they came out. The same thing goes for Hot Pursuit 2010. I didn't play the multiplayer because I didn't have a PS3 or Xbox 360 or capable PC at the time, so I wasn't able to experience the true multiplayer design of that game. The same with Burnout Paradise as well, right? So the fact that those two games, Burnout Paradise and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, got both a remaster, it allowed me to experience what that multiplayer was all about. And I should say that Hot Pursuit 2010 was by far my favorite Need for Speed, because after having played the remaster, I just sunk so many hours into it. I sunk so many hours, way more than Rivals, and I consider Rivals to be one of the best, one of the good ones, I should say, not one of the best, one of the good ones. But because Hot Pursuit's multiplayer was way more structured, or was way more, planned out, like I felt like I had a way more enjoyable time in that game than I did in Rivals or 2015 or in Payback. It was just something about it. It was just so simple, There wasn't no, you have to tune this car, so you can like break the suspension, so you can go, 10 times faster than everybody else. It was literally just cops and racers, and that's what I like about it. Now, I don't know if Most Wanted was different. I wasn't able to play the multiplayer, so I think having that game remastered today would do the multiplayer justice, because a lot of people like me, like I said, they weren't able to experience it. So having that player base go in for the first time, I think that would be a spectacular treatment. And honestly, in final thoughts, Most Wanted 2012, in my opinion, obviously is one of the most not overrated, but underrated games in the series. From the car variety to the sound design and pure arcade, the game deserves a second chance, I believe, in my honest opinion. And honestly, I've seen more and more people on Reddit and YouTube comments warming up to this game. Obviously, this would have been someone's first Need for Speed game, so you also have that as well. And we all know, right? We always love to go back to our first games in the series, right? Like whether it be like the first Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, Underground, Most Wanted, not Undercover, The Run, because that was the first game that made us fall in love with the series. And having a remake today, I believe, would be something spectacular that that can get people talking about Need for Speed again, right? Obviously, with Criterion moving over to Battlefield, EA being purchased by the Saudis, I don't think there will be a Need for Speed that's coming out anytime soon. So I believe this will be a good idea to revitalize the series. And plus, this was the second game that Criterion had worked on besides Hot Pursuit. And obviously, after this game, Rivals, and then they took charge in Unbound, right? But you can't really remaster Rivals because I still think it looks really good. And who knows? Maybe in the future we'll be talking about this with the Rivals as well. Since Need for Speed has been put on a shelf for a little bit right now, but those are just my thoughts. Now I want to hear yours. Do you guys want to see this game remastered? Do you guys how are you guys feeling about this game in general? Did you guys play it at release? Did you guys play it years later? Let me know down in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts about all of this. And until next time, you guys take it easy. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay while I work on my last pre-release video of Project Motor Racing, because there have been some new cars announced and I kind of want to give my final words on it before release, because I think it's very, very crucial. And yeah, take it easy, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.
advised 1123, unit down. Check MDC for suspect details.
Copy that. Any description available on that suspect? Over.
Units to stop at Porch 911.
Dispatch, pursuit is continuing. Duty, we need units diverting from other areas. Dispatch, we've got wreckage on the road. Over. This pursuit is northbound. Our suspect, roadblock in position. Over.
10-4, you have go to continue.
Suspect just ran into the roadblock. An attempting pit. Can we bring in units to take away suspect from traffic? Roadblock is in place. Over.
10-4, duty will authorize.
Contact with suspect. Dispatch, I've lost contact with suspect. Assistance required to relocate.
Any units in area, report sightings of wanted suspect. Commence standard search pattern, over. Be advised, we have reports of suspect making contact with pursuing vehicle.
Pursuing unit. Dispatch, suspect just wrecked a police unit. They'll need assistance. Over.
We have units on standby, secondaries crewing.
Step 4 and maintaining. Be advised, there is an SUV roadblock in place. Suspect carrying heavy damage. Dispatch, suspect still running. We need SUVs and we need them now. Suspect in crash. Close in on them. Yeah, dispatch. Unit now out of pursuit. Wanted is carrying damage. Over.
Situation update requested.
Advise traffic, 1155.
Be advised, minor roadblock.
Dispatch, backup needed.
Copy that.
Fugitive in collision, he almost wrecked out.
Duty is requesting update.
Can we bring in units to take away suspect from traffic?
Code 3 suspect is southbound.
All units, I've got an empty road. Anyone else have eyes on the suspect?
10-4. Units commence standard search of pursuit perimeter, over.
Dispatch, suspect has breached our roadblock. Over. 1042 in code 3.
Be advised, Rhino roadblock now in place. Over.
Dispatch, I got that. I'll give you more info when I can.
Secondaries are diverting traffic from your area.
Anyone get a look at the driver? Be good to add a driver description.
Pursuing units, commence grid by grid. Advise on progress, over.
Code 3 suspect spotted. They're mobile. Our suspect made a jump. We have 1123s and have lost contact. I lost him. Suspect got away. Suspect is losing it. We're going to get them. Dispatch, this suspect's too fast. We need interceptors, over.
10-4. We'll update local MDCs and call for response, over.
Dispatch, we dropped behind suspect. He just jumped his car to get away. Emery routing.
Pursuit units, reroute to contact.
Dispatch, suspect now off-road. Dispatch, I've lost visual on the... Dispatch, the vehicle I was pursuing has outrun me. I've lost him.
Copy that. Suspect has evaded pursuit. Units to begin a grid-by-grid search.
Dispatch, I'm back on that suspect. Dispatch, 1151. All units, caution. SUVs are blocking the road ahead.
Understood. Situation updated.
1042, our suspect is targeting civil property. Pursuit is proceeding west. Dispatch, I'm requesting highway units.
All units, we have a suspect at large within pursuit perimeter. Commence standard search, over. Four.
Dispatch, cleaning incoming. Dispatch, code 3 suspect reacquired. All units, watch your spacing. Dispatch, backup requested. Code 3 is gone. Get us Brenner. It's over.
10-4 units are crewing. We'll advise when en route. Code 3 units, any update?
Undrop back to provide overview. I'm gonna try and take him off the road. Dispatch, the suspect's now back on the road. All units, roadblock is in place. Advise when approaching, over.
All units, check MUC for updates.
Dispatch report backup. Roadblock has been in effect. Over. Contact with pursuit suspect lost. I need assistance.
10-4. Grid-by-grid search has been authorized to locate Code 3 suspect.
Still no contact. Dispatch, are we serious about getting this suspect? Give us backup.
10-4.
Dispatch in sighting. Looks like we lost them.
Copy that.
All units, with long response times. I need more info.
Understood. Will advise.
Dispatch,
Dispatch to all units in Code 3. Supervisor is suspending search. Return to duty.
Going Code 1. We'll run stationaries on 10-10.